welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time for the waffle. Podcast starts at 7. If you guys are paying attention, we have a little bit of a treat here for you before the podcast gets started. So welcome in, welcome in. There is a waffle in the chat. It is 10 a spot, and we will be doing it for a tuna. So let's get Calvary up here. We'll get him started right away.
What's up?
What's up, buddy? So
Had to rush home from work so I could eat.
I do it every day, every Tuesday. So we're going to be doing a waffle in the chat for the tuna, the big tuna. Those things are huge.
They are, I think they're 2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds.
Yeah, they're huge.
So anyone who would like to get in on this, he's going to give you a Cash App where you can send it to, and then he will get your name written down, and you will be part of, thank you, you will be part of the raffle.
Well, so to make it the easiest way possible, they'll just get a number, which is the number in which they sent their payment, and then we'll just spin a wheel with the numbers 1 through 20, and the number to the corresponding payment will be who gets it.
There you go. Easy, easy, easy. And it has to be all 20 spots filled.
No, we can probably do it if we get at least 15.
Okay. So we need to get to at least 15 spots filled. If you guys want to get in on that, now is the time.
Definitely. And my CA is just my name, Calvary Custom Tackle.
Perfect. Got your custom.
We'll just keep it on one half.
On.
Yep. With PrettyLures.com.
Mine's dirty.
It's just Calvary Custom Tackle. Or what we're doing the waffle is the tuna, which we put a lot of in skin texture and everything in this one.
Very nice.
And each individual bump is orange. Everybody's always talking about them, so I figured let's see if people actually want one.
We're about to find out.
And then this is going to be my giveaway.
There you go.
It's the 7-inch big belly.
Very nice. We will have a couple giveaways. Those will happen during the podcast. But right now, we are focused on the waffle for the tuna. Make a nice addition to a collection. I mean, if you're near saltwater, by all means, you can fish it.
Absolutely, yeah, because this guy did it BSI. Took 2 days to paint and 3 days to clear coat.
I bet it.
We did this one, then we did this 2, then we did these 3.
What up, Tim?
What's up, Tim?
Just going over some notes here. Yeah, I got a few twists tonight as far as the giveaways. We're gonna do one regular. So we're gonna do your giveaway just the regular way, and then I want to try something a little different for the Pretty Lures giveaway. And
you do my giveaway however you want to do it.
Yeah, so normally I have people spin a wheel. It's a really busy time of year, and most people that I have spin the wheel are busy. not available. So I have random numbers that were already pre-selected, and we're going to use those numbers, but we're going to add a little twist on the Pretty Lures giveaway. And let's just put it this way: you have to be paying attention. If you're not paying attention, then you may not get that one. What up, Killjoy?
There you go. What's up, Killjoy?
Awesome. Lots of people stopping through. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a quick day at work, or was it a long day?
It's 12 hours every day for me.
No, thank you.
It's Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. every week.
No, thank you. I barely make it 8 hours, let alone 12.
And then, well, it's truck driving stuff.
Nope. I'd rather spend my time fishing.
Oh, I would too, but
He said, "Oh, wait a minute. Don't get me wrong. I would rather be fishing."
fishing, hunting, at the beach, just on a boat.
Vacation all week. We're going to get Tim on here too. He comes up in next month.
There we go. It'll be a lesson on candies.
Well, I mean, could there be any other lesson from him? I'm sure there will be, but that's the one everybody wants right there. Lesson on candies. You got it, buddy. The 7. He's on vacation all week. I just started my job. I can't complain about not being on vacation. So
I'll leave on the 12th.
Huh?
I'll leave for vacation on the 12th, and I'll be gone, cutting the phone off for 10 days.
It's I like to cut my phone off. However, my wife, we went down to Mexico. Well, it's been quite a few years ago now, maybe 3. And my phone didn't go with me. And I was like, just leave your phone in the hotel room. We'll be back later sometime. She's like, I can't do it. She's like, what if the boy calls? What if this? What if that? And so she carried hers with her. But,
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'll have it. It'll probably just be on like silent. Well, for a couple of the days, it's got to be turned off completely. But it's just like we're just going to spend time together, and we don't want the chance of anything. But it'll be there and can turn it on if we had something happen.
Yeah. Tim says he took vacation that week also, so no rush to get back to work after that.
They ain't no telling how many weeks Tim has, because he's been at that job forever.
Some of these people have so much vacation they can take like every Thursday and Friday off every single week for the entire year. I know at the job that I started, they give you up to 3 weeks of paid vacation. I don't think you get to 3 weeks until after like 10, I want to say 15 years. And then you get a day every year after that. Plus they pay you 5 sick days a year. And that's after you're there the first year. After you're there the first year, you get a week's paid vacation and 5 paid sick days. So
my job, I think it is 1 week after a year, 2 weeks after 2, 3 weeks after 3, and then 4 after 5, and 5 after 10, and then we get the major holidays, and that's it. No sick time or nothing like that.
Oi. What up, MCA? Don't forget, guys, there is a waffle in the chat. Send it to his Cash App. It is $10 a spot, and it is for a big tuna. So his Cash App is just his name.
What's up, Burnout Bobby?
I wish I could pin it, but I cannot pin it. That AI hears everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, mine was doing
It's
some crazy stuff the other day. What's up, Swamp?
it's talking
Appreciate
about
that.
everything we're talking about. Everything. What up, Uncle Tom? Did you get in on the fish? You didn't get in on the fishing tournament, did you?
You talking about Bubbles?
Yeah.
I completely missed that he was even having one, and found out he was having one after like the week before it started.
Ah. Well, he's doing another one. Just so everybody's aware, it's no date is set yet. It's going to be in July, and I do believe it's going to be a bass only tournament again. I don't want to say too much because he is changing some things. He figured out some things that needed changed as this tournament went on, which was the whole point of it. So there will be another one, and you can get in on that one too.
Yeah, we need a catfish tournament.
Nah.
Because I just know I know I could probably win that one because I'll just ride down to Santee and fish Santee.
Yeah. Um, who knows what all different ones he could do eventually, but
We should go down to Santee and do bass tournaments too. That lake is on fire right now.
is it?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the top 3 in the nation right now, I would say, because there's the past 3 tournaments. This took over 100 pounds on a 15 fish limit to win.
That's a big bag.
Yeah, you turn it in 34 pounds a day.
What up, Bear?
It'd be worth the drive just to get the bragging rights over everybody on TikTok.
How long of a drive is that for you?
About 2.5.
Don't forget, we started early for the waffle, so make sure you're getting in on that. It is 10 a spot, and his cash app is his name, Calvary Custom Tackle.
Just like that.
Right there. Got quite a few people in here for an early start.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody was waiting on it.
Well, the main thing is it's so nice right now. It's finally summer, I think, for even everybody up north, even up there, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all that. They're getting some nice weather, so it's hard to keep people inside and tuned into something right now.
Yeah, our weather has no idea what it's trying to do. For the last 2 weeks, we've been hotter than Texas.
Uh
What was it, Sunday or Monday? We were hotter than Orlando, Florida.
huh.
We went from 87 degrees yesterday to 70 today.
Yep, we're doing this,
And I think we're supposed to be back at like in the 80s tomorrow. It's like a 1-day cool down. Woohoo!
Tim said, "Finally, the Great White North is green."
Just the great green north.
Hey,
Can we call it great though? It's the north.
hey. What's wrong with the North?
It's above the Mason-Dixon line.
Jenny! Tim said,
See,
we
I
won.
even
Oh, shit.
sure. See, I
Oh,
even mess with old Darkside there, and I tell him he's from Yankee, Carolina, just because he's from North Carolina. Even though I think he's only maybe an hour from my house.
Is he?
Yeah, like it took a while to find some people in the fish talk community that was close to me, and then like a bunch showed up at one time.
Well, it seems like there's a lot in the north, and I mean,
In
let's
your
face
area
it.
specifically.
Well, when we get winter, if you're not an ice fisherman, I mean, what else are we gonna do? You know, I was a gamer. I wouldn't say gamer. I like to play some of the adventure games and stuff, and yes, some of the first person shooter games. But that's what I did before I found bait making and hanging out with everybody on here. So.
Right. We're just gonna ignore that comment. We're not gonna acknowledge it.
Easy, easy. What's up, Alabama fishing? I just watched him over on Tiny's Real Talk with Tiny, Alabama fishing, and on his page, the first video he has pinned is he didn't get a weight on the bass, but it looks double digit. It's a heck of a catch, and the excitement in his voice makes the whole video worth it. So, but I did not know who he was before I watched Real Talk with Tiny. So,
No, sir, Uncle Tom. No, sir.
what he say?
He said he knew something was wrong with me. No, sir.
Rooster. Rooster
my
is
part to-
in the house.
I will just put it plain and simple that I did my part to keep my state Republican.
Anybody who wants to get in on that, make sure you get in now. He's trying to run this all by himself. So once the interview starts,
Yeah,
it's going to be a
things
little
happen.
harder to get in.
Yeah, so we're talking about is we're waffling off the tuna that everybody's seen and talks about. 10 a spot for 20 spots, and you just send it to my Cash App.
Yep.
And whatever spot you send in is the spot that you will be on a wheel, and then we'll spin a wheel, and the number it lands on will be the corresponding number in the cat. You sent it. Almost said a word. What's up, Sims?
There we go. Alabama following people, people following Alabama. That's what I'm talking about. What up, Sims?
Yeah, anybody who follows me, I'll get them back after the live. But I think most of these people I probably are already going to be.
There's the cowboy hat. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're just hanging out right now, guys. Getting the waffle going. And then we'll get into the interview part of it. We're going to get to know a little more about Calvary.
My wife's in the chat.
Uh-oh. What is it they say in Bubba's Live? Fish on the bank. She's in the chat.
Yeah, it's just the one that says Felicia.
Oh, well, hello. Good to see you.
The better looking and better half. It's just all around better.
Well, that's typical.
Yeah, see, this is the other thing that just kills me with TikTok is it says, you know, Sims just come in and sent gifts, and now it's saying, oh, think he might like it? Invite them to join. Like, he literally just came in.
I know it. TikTok's gotten weird. Like, it must have asked me at some point about my photos, and I must have clicked limited because I went to start this live and none of my photos were there. So I had to go back through and change some settings. I still have to change them. I actually went through and just selected like this photo for the background. But they change it so often. Like it used to be you go into a live, and if you're a mod and let's say, you know, Swamp Rooster wants to join, or Uncle Tom's, or whoever, and I would see it at the bottom. If I'm in your live as a moderator, I would see it at the bottom and it lights up as a one with the two people beside each other, and you click on it and just click accept. Now you have to
Yeah.
click on it, click manage, and then click it accept. And it's like, why?
I say bye, Felicia, every day.
Bye, Felicia.
She even used to have a shirt that said bye, Felicia on it.
That's funny.
Thank goodness she got home before we actually started the thing because my dog just went nuts.
We have that often. I think everybody's dogs do that. What up, Bresher?
And Turtle Lady.
Mrs. Niece.
That's Turtle Lady.
Turtle
AKA
Lady?
Snappy Craft Co.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can do a quick story time if you want to before.
Sure.
So back when I first got started around hanging around stuff at late night, and then when Cody and Barrett were two of the first that I met. Well, Cody's like Wednesday lives when he used to do interactive time. She would be in the background, and she would he would say something, and she would be kind of snappy as a response. So we started calling her Snappy Turtle Lady because she was a snapping turtle. And we tried for months to get her to change her username to Snappy Craft Co.
It didn't work, did it?
No.
Didn't work. We got about 8 minutes and we'll get started. Thank you. Don't forget, guys, just send a Cash App of 10 to Calvary Custom Tackle. It's right there. And you can get in on the raffle for the tuna.
What's up, Barrett?
Barrett. One half of Pretty Lure.
Not the pretty. He's the lure part.
He's the lure. I tell you what, I loved watching those two tell the story about how they met when I had them on. I went back, as I do with many of the episodes, and I rewatch them. And just watching those two talk about it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And just the way that things happened. Yeah, it was a great story.
See, being such good friends with them, I knew it was coming before it even had a name. And if you don't follow Rosalie on Facebook, you go follow her on Facebook, and some of the stuff she posts, I'm like, get it, girl. She can be so feisty. And she just seems like this, sweet, genuine little lady, and then all of a sudden she just pops out some feistiness. It is hilarious.
I have heard it. I have seen it. It is funny.
You should have been in Alabama. Outside of the show, you should have been in Alabama.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get with everybody at a show sooner or later. Sooner or later.
For the most part, I think a lot of us could do a big meetup at East Tennessee.
Yeah. Tennessee's really not that far.
Yeah, and it's in Knoxville.
It's not that.
It's also one of the largest fishing shows, consumer direct sales shows in the nation.
Yeah. I think
you did meet me in Alabama. I'll have to look at your profile. I'll have to look at your profile.
You don't remember? You don't remember?
Not the name. Do you know how many people we've seen? I bet you we've seen 3,000 people.
I'm telling you now, when you guys go to these shows, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. When you go to these shows, make sure you introduce yourself. Don't walk up to everybody and expect them to know exactly who you are. Yes, if I seen Calvary or Swamp or Bubba or, you know, numerous people, I would know exactly who they are. They would know exactly who I am. But
now I know who he was.
introduce yourself.
Yeah, I
Now
remember
what?
Uncle Tom. He said he had the outdoors Tiny hat and shirt on. At first, I thought it was Tiny. I remember him. I remember Uncle Tom. And then I'll always say it, the goats of the show was I turned around and there stood Holly.
I'm telling you, you will get that look if you don't introduce yourself to people that you see on TikTok and interact with once in a while. You're gonna get that look where you walk up and you go, "Oh my gosh, Calvary!" and Calvary's gonna go, "Hey, like,
yeah, because we don't get to see you in the
who
chat.
are you?"
We just get to see usernames. We don't get to see you.
Yeah, I finally got to meet Pig Jigs, which is one guy I wanted to meet down in Columbus, and his area was so packed. I never got the chance to go in there. He had a very small area, and there was 10 to 15 people in there, shoulder to shoulder, pushing to see his stuff. And I was like, you know what? As much as I want to meet him, I'm not going to bother him. He's also doing business, and I just let it go. Well, he happened to go to the one here at over by Youngstown, and I walked up to him and introduced myself right away, and he was like, "Yeah, Uncle Corey, I know who you are." And I said, "Man, I wanted to meet you down at Columbus, but you were so busy." He's like, "Oh man, you should have pushed your way in there." It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. There's people in there wanting to buy stuff, so.
See, I got you and Uncle Tom confused at first. I was, because he kept posting that he was from, Alabama, and I'm like, I thought he was in Ohio. What's up, Paulian?
Yeah, he's been in quite a few of the lives here lately. Uncle Tom has, and he was in the fishing tournament, and so he's starting to become a regular.
Cool. He's got some talent. So Alabama, I may not. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm probably not going to be there to sell, but there still is a good chance that if with Pretty Lures going, that I'll go down there to promote Pretty Lures. What's up, Seven?
What's up, Seven? How are you tonight? All right, we got like 1 minute and we'll get started with this. Don't forget, the raffle is still going on. $10 a spot for the big tuna.
For the tuna. It's probably the last time I showed it at least. They were at a break.
What's that?
Probably the last time that I show it till we go on break. So.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you guys are getting over there. Send it directly to his Cash App. It's just his name right there at the bottom. And it'll get you entered. We have to do at least 15 spots, or he's just going to go ahead and hold on to it. So let's see what we can do. See if somebody can get that tuna in their hands instead of his.
Like I said, 4 days, 5 days worth of work.
Oh, his internet's cutting in and out. That's like the first time I've seen it do it.
Yeah, it did. It just dropped one little bar. We don't have no storms or nothing, though.
Yep.
It is.
Well, let's hope it holds
It literally
up.
took 5 days.
Yep. All right, folks, it's 7 o'clock. You know what that means. It is time for the podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Corey's Custom Lures. This will be the special guest of the night. Help me welcome in Calvary Custom Tackle. Don't forget, guys, the podcast is always sponsored by Pretty Lure. Make sure you get over to Pretty Lure for all your bait making needs. They do everything from blanks to tying materials, devices, airbrushes, paints, stencils. They've got everything over there. If you haven't checked it out, you really are missing out. Make sure you get over and check out Pretty Lure. As always, we will be doing some giveaways tonight. There is an active raffle in the chat. It is $10 a spot for the tuna. He has showed it multiple times. It is also on a post. So make sure you get in on that. And we will save all questions for Mr. Calvary till the end of the show. We'll be doing the giveaways as well. What do you think? You ready to get started?
As soon as you are.
I'm always ready. So let's start with what state you're in. Some people don't know. Of course I know, but why don't you tell us?
We are in the best state, South Carolina.
It's South Carolina. Some would consider the best state. Some. South Carolina. Is that where you were born and raised? You've always lived there?
Yeah, I've always lived. I grew up maybe 15 minutes from where I live now. Tell them, Little River. Tell them.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you married? Got little ones running around, or just got the pets running around? Tell us a little bit about you.
I am married. Just over 4 years. I got 2 step kids. One's 18. He's kind of doing his own thing, and then we got a little one. And then okay. I got a big dog, and then a little weenie dog. That's my wife's. That gets on my last nerve. He is something else. Truck driver by trade. Been doing that for 13 years now.
So bait making doesn't pay all the bills, huh?
Bait making pays for bait making.
That's typical, right? I think that's why most of us get into it, and I think that's kind of the goal when you get into bait making, is that it can pay for itself, so that you're not always putting money into it. So breaking even is better than paying in. Let's put it that way. So,
yeah, I don't think really probably anybody that I know of that I talk to on a regular basis who does bait making, except for maybe 1 or 2, can do it full time. And then they kind of were fortunate enough to be able to set their life up to where they could do that.
Correct. And you have some guys that are retired, right? And that's just what they do, which is great for them. And I hope to be that way one day. Where bait making is what I do, and I don't have to go be a door greeter at Walmart, you know.
Exactly. Like,
I have a new goal.
Yeah, it comes and goes. I mean, some months you can do really good, some months not so good. Like, right now I've got I'm finishing up a really big order. I've just got to put the hooks and split rings on it to set up a local store who's wanting to get all custom stuff in, but like I couldn't even make my truck payment outside of that with what I do. So
right.
I tell everybody it's a hobby that pays for itself. That's what you need to expect out of it.
It is. It's a hobby, right? That's all it is. It's just a hobby. And there are a few fortunate people who do make a living at it, but it's very few and far between. And some people do good. I'm not saying you can't do really well with it. But to make it the only thing, sole income, it's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, like right off the top of my head, Jekyll. You know what I'm talking about? Jekyll, is she tackle, lures, whatever it is?
Okay.
She paints for Buka.
Okay.
Like, she's one of the ones who got in the right spot at the right time. Her work got recognized right, and she's easily able to do it full time now.
Okay. So she paints for Buka and is able to do it full time now?
Yeah, she does a lot of his custom stuff.
Okay. Well, that's great. I mean, it's what we all hope to do one day. So how specifically did you get into painting?
The OG Friday Night Live.
Okay.
I mean, way back in the 2 years ago at this point, maybe.
Okay.
I used to work at night, and on Friday nights I was scrolling through, and it showed up one night, and I started watching it. I'm like, this is kind of cool. So I started hanging out with these guys every Friday night because I was always at work.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to Barrett, and Barrett painted my first ever custom bait. And it kind of,
Okay.
I told him, I was like, I can't afford a whole lot of them, but man, this is so awesome. And then he kind of pushed me toward that direction of, why don't you paint your own?
Oh. That's one unique thing I don't think will ever change about this community is gathering more and more bait makers. You know.
Tim's got it right there. Lemon drop. I got it right there in my tackle box still. I fish it on a regular basis, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
I can get it out, but it'll make noise.
I'll tell you what, the first person that I ever got a custom lure off of, if memory serves right, it was Smith and Whiskey. I ordered from him. He was doing, I think, two. It was some sort of deal. Yeah, two for 25. I don't know. And he was the first one I got lures from. I still have them. I haven't lost them yet. I mean, eventually, maybe. Because let's face it, we got to get up in there where the fish are, and sometimes that costs you a lure. So,
Yes, definitely. I had a lot of the original custom lures that I had come from those Friday night guys. Everybody used to make fun of how much I won their giveaways. At one point,
Really?
I won 9 weeks in a row.
Well, that's just rigged. Oh.
The rigs come from me and the nieces. That is what it started with giveaways with the nieces.
Rigged. There it is. Yeah. We have a few people who win quite often, and some people are just lucky. I'm not sure how. It's just the way the world works where they get lucky. But 9 weeks in a row or something like that, that's quite a few.
And then they used to talk about how I won a lot in the nieces as well when they were doing the interactive time, but it's because I was in there every week without fail supporting.
That's probably the easiest way right there. Just be there all the time. And we have some loyal supporters, and some of the supporters that are loyal supporters of the podcast are the same in Friday night lives, which are back on now, right? In case anybody's in here living under a rock that didn't know, Friday night lives are back, and you can go in there. You can actually participate in them if you're a painter and would like to participate in them. They do them every Friday, and all you have to do is message Pretty Lures right here on TikTok, and they'll get you in there. They'll get you a spot, and you can come in and paint with some of the OGs, Paul Tark and Barrett, and Benster's always in there. Benster doesn't do a whole lot of painting anymore, but he's always in there and interacting with everybody. Smith and Whiskey's in there every week. And then they just fill up spots. So you've been doing the Friday Night Lives.
Yeah, I've done a couple. I've been trying to fill in and just help him make sure he's got his stuff. Like, I started painting right before the original Friday nights stopped. So, like, I think I got in on 2 or 3 weeks of the original Friday Night Lives.
Wow.
Yeah, this October will be 3 years.
That you've been painting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was one of my next questions is how long have you been painting? So it was the Friday Night Lives that got you into painting. And it was Barrett and who's some of the original cast of the Friday Night Lives? You were in there a
So you
lot.
got Barrett, Smith and Whiskey, um, 3D printed lures, Jim. You had Ben, Paul. There was a guy Duke's Tackle, and then there was their, I guess you'd say, moderator back in the day was Scotty Bear,
Okay.
and I feel like
Wasn't Fingerprint in
Knucklehead,
there as well?
Knucklehead, Fingerprint. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So quite a few. A lot of guys that you still see today. They're all kind of doing their own thing and they get in on the Friday Night Live. But all these people are mainly still around. You definitely said some names that I don't recognize. Maybe they've kind of dissipated, I guess, or doing their
Yeah,
own
a
thing
couple
and
of
I
them
just
kind
haven't
of,
seen them.
disappeared. Like Knucklehead will pop up every now and again. The main one I never see anymore is Dupes.
Hmm. Yeah. Did you see that down in the chat? Tim said he wanted in on the Friday Night Live, and he's in. So if that's what you'd like to do, you can put it in the chat. Just click on Barrett and put at Barrett and let him know that you'd like to be in on the Friday Night Live. So,
And
and
they were
yeah,
actually having some of the soft plastic makers and jig tires getting in there as long as they're willing to do the colors.
yeah. I mean, and I would love to see that. I like watching these guys tie the jigs and stuff. I don't do that as of yet. I have kicked around the idea of getting into tying some of the bass jigs and stuff like that because they're some of my favorite lures to use. The jigs, the spinner baits now is one of my favorites. I actually had a friend. I wasn't using spinner baits at all, and he turned me back into a spinner bait fisherman. He told me to pick one up and just throw it. It's just that time of year, and I haven't put it down. Still using it.
That's one thing that just blows people's minds when I don't even own a spinnerbait.
Yeah, I didn't either. Well, I did, but it was on a shelf. I never took it with me. So you don't even own a spinnerbait.
No, I've got plenty of jigs. Almost, if not every jig that I have is Niece's. And I fish chatterbaits. You know, it's that whole confidence thing you hear everybody talk about. I've
It
never
is.
caught one. I used to. I used to own them. I used to fish them. I've never caught it. I've caught plenty on swim jigs, football head, arky head, and chatterbaits. Like I've caught on all of those.
Yeah, yeah. Outdoors with Tiny's in the house. Yeah, I chatterbait. It was my go-to. I was like, why do I need a spinner? I got a chatterbait, and I was throwing that chatterbait this year, expecting a hit, and was getting nothing. And it's no secret. Bass Cat talked me into picking up that spinnerbait. He goes, just pick it up, just try it. It's that time of year. I'm telling you, you're gonna catch. And I threw that thing, and it was probably the fifth cast I pulled in a 4-pounder. And I'm just like, what? I've been throwing this chatterbait relentlessly, and man, they were following that spinnerbait everywhere. I caught 5-6 fish on just the spinnerbait alone. So I'm back into the spinnerbaits.
Yeah, a lot of people also just happen to fish the chatterbait the wrong way, and it hurts them when they fish it the wrong way.
Yep.
And if you do not put a paddle tail on a chatterbait.
Well, I know a lot of people who do. I do not.
Chatterbaits were designed to be erratic. You put a paddle tail on it, and it is just this, straight through the water. Which has its place if you want to fish it next to a brush pile or right over the edge of a grass line, that's fine, but you kill the intended action.
Yep. So I fish them a few different ways, and but a paddle tail is not one of them. I don't ever put a paddle tail on them. Sim says I do, and it works.
Yeah, it'll work. It does work. You will catch fish. And I will put a paddle tail on one if I'm wanting to throw it over next to a log and I don't want it to dive into the log. I just want it to swim straight. Other than that, the one I use a lot is Motivated Exodus Swimmer Pro because it's got that speed tail on it, and you get that flashback there, but it doesn't affect the erratic action, the hunting.
Yep. Well, and there again, if you're talking how to work a chatterbait at the same time, if you're just throwing it and winding it, you're going to catch fish. But that's not the intended purpose either. You got to give it some cadence. You got to give it pauses, and I'll pick up the rod tip and just let it drop and then start reeling it again. I get hit a lot right then.
Mm-hmm. So I don't fish another one that a lot of people love is buzz baits. I don't own a buzz bait. If I'm going to do a buzz bait style, I just do a whopper plopper.
Yeah.
More specific.
Yeah. I definitely own a buzz bait, but I will typically walk the dog with a top water before I will throw a buzz bait or a whopper plopper. I'm not a fan of the whopper plopper, but it does have its time and place.
Can I put you on something with the whopper plopper that is not out there yet, but people need to know?
Sure, tell us all.
Have you seen the twin spin plopper from Pretty Lures? This one.
And he froze up. There he goes.
Have you seen this one?
I have seen it. I have not used it.
So, the reason I think whopper ploppers are fading away is because they have that very distinct sound and that very distinct cadence. And everybody's throwing those same like river to sea versions. This one doesn't sound anything the same. And it's got two blades, and you can fish it. You can burn it and stop. You can just burn it, or you can fish this thing to where it'll turn this slow and barely make any noise, but make just a little bit of splash. And they also do not spin. Like your traditional style will get tangled up and start doing it. I've had so much grass in this, and it's still just sitting there chopping.
Wow.
So y'all need to check these out. Yeah, it's the twin spin.
Yep, you get those at Pretty Lure, which... Here is the twist on tonight's giveaway. The first letter of the code that you need to win the Pretty Lure giveaway. So not only are we doing the number, so I'll pick a number, whoever name is beside that number, you will also have to provide me this code. And the first letter of the code is P. Make sure you write it down somewhere or memorize it. You have to have the code to win. The first letter is P.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to get one of those. Here lately, I'm painting very little, but everything I'm painting is going right in my tackle box, and I'm using it. So. Not doing a whole lot of painting. I'm doing a whole lot of fishing. So
yeah, I just between work and this order and just trying to spend time with the family, fishing has been scarce.
Yes, outdoors with Tiny,
and that can transition into the amount I get to go fishing. Can transition into what I told you earlier. Yeah. And I've already been called out in the chat by both Bear and my wife. I cannot go fishing alone.
You cannot?
No, because I am completely allergic to all fish.
Yeah, so we were going to bring this up, but we're on it. Let's go with it. So, wait a minute. You love to fish, but you can't eat fish? Can you touch? You can't even touch fish.
No, if I touch fish, I will break out in red hives. My eyes will get puffy, my nose gets snotty, and then the weirdest thing, like I've never had an anaphylactic reaction, but like it makes the inside of my chest itch. And
Yeah.
my wife used to give me
Oh my.
so much. Look at that. My wife used to give me so much hassle over saying that I was just like scared of him, or I didn't want to touch him, to the point I literally went and got the allergy test done just to prove her wrong. Now there's EpiPens in my fishing bag, in my truck, in her car, because it come back worse than the control.
So that's pretty bad. So tell me, you have to fish with rubber gloves? You have to wear like gloves or something? I mean, you're catching fish.
So I just take somebody fishing with me, and the agreement is I'll go find the fish. I could take you where the fish are, but you have to take my fish up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I got a buddy
can't
who
go
lives right
fishing
up the
by
road.
yourself. Go ahead.
So I got a buddy that right up the road that we go fishing together. Typically, when I go out on a boat, I go with him, and the joke is I'm always like, "Hey, I think we should go fish over there," and like he'll just always catch more fish than me. But like we go where I tell him to go, and he uses what I tell him to use. Sometimes we'll use the same thing, cast in the same spot. His gets bit, mine don't. So I just tell him I'm his fishing. I'm just his guide.
You're just the guy.
I'm just the guide. I'm the guide. I'm the truck parker.
Well, I mean, that goes to say something. Yeah, that goes to say something for the passion of fishing, though. I mean, you love fishing so much that you still do it, even though you're highly allergic to it.
Yeah, and
that is crazy.
I wasn't always allergic, though. I didn't become allergic till I was like that 16, 17-year-old range. And I used to eat a lot of seafood. And I don't know if that's what it was, because at a certain point, I just kind of quit eating it. And then, like, I was catfishing, and I put a shrimp on, and next thing I know, I can't see nothing because my eyes are puffy and watery.
Oh, crap. What a way to find out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is my nose running so much? And then within just a couple minutes, I'm just like, I also wanted to figure out if I could eat seafood again, because one of my favorite dishes was shrimp and grits.
Okay.
So the doctor asked why I was getting an allergy test done. I told him, I love fishing. I used to eat a lot of seafood. Like, I want to see if I can get back to it. And when he come in, he says, well, I'm not going to tell you can't eat seafood. This is his exact words. He said, I'm not going to tell you can't eat seafood, but if you want to eat shrimp and grits again, I suggest you get it. You go to the emergency room and inject yourself with the EpiPen, and then eat it and hope they can save you.
In other words, don't do that.
Yeah, he basically said, if you want to die.
Yeah. If you want to try and cheat it, okay. So I'm taking it you didn't try it, right?
No, I haven't. I have not tried it.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't
that's
found a good day to leave this earth yet.
That's unfortunate. But great story, though. I mean,
yeah, it was. It's. There's been some funny moments.
Fun fact: shrimp causes gout. Outdoors with Tiny.
I ate a lot of shrimp when I was younger. I've also ate a lot of meat in my life, borderline carnivore, and I have gout, so it makes sense.
We mentioned it earlier. Outdoors with Tiny. If you guys haven't gotten over and checked out his page, he makes some of the funniest posts, guys. And also, Outdoors with Tiny runs Real Talk with Tiny. He does a podcast over there. It is very different from this one, yet the same. Who he interviews are fishermen themselves. We do bait makers over here. And sometimes, the fishermen that he's interviewing are bait makers in the same. And eventually some of those people that have been on his show will be right over here. But make sure you're getting over and checking out Outdoors with Tiny. Great guy, good podcast. And he's down in the chat right now. So check him out.
And apparently he likes sweet stuff when he's not doing too good fishing.
I'm telling you what, I seen that video, and his videos always feel like a setup anymore, right? I'm always feeling like I'm getting set up. And when he started that video, I didn't feel set up until he goes, man, I could really use something sweet right now. And if you guys don't know who Pooh Fishing is, it's a good friend of his, and they just happened to be fishing together that day. And she's a great baker, and I'm sure all around cook. But she must have brought some cookies with her that day, and that's the way the video goes. I'll leave it up to you to go check it out. It's a lot funnier than I explain it.
I didn't know it was like a setup, but I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, what in the world is he fixing to get handed to him? That's what I was watching. I was like, and I would not have picked a cookie.
Well, I was giving Pooh Fishing a hard time. I seen her in his Real Talk with Tiny just the other day. I believe it was Sunday night. And I said, boy, I sure would like some cookies. And she goes, oh, I'll send you some. And I'm like, no. I was just joking, like, because of the post. She goes, oh, I figured you were, but I'll keep it in mind. I've been telling everybody who comments like that, you just never know what I'll send you. So.
My mind went to a Reese cup. I got to be honest. I expected him to just pull out like a Reese cup.
Yeah.
He seems like a Reese's kind of guy.
He seems like a Reese's kind of guy. I'm a sweets guy altogether. It doesn't matter. I really like the Take Fives, and they're getting harder to find. I like that salty sweet, the pretzels inside the chocolate. I think that's really good. My mom, for holidays, always makes the chocolate-covered pretzels, and that's one of my favorites.
My wife's one of her favorites, but for candy, I do lean more towards... See, look, I told you he was a Reese's. I would have to say, if you want to go the chocolate route, it's probably going to be an Almond Joy.
Almond Joy, that's coconut. Can't do it.
One of my favorites, though, here recently, I actually discovered on TikTok. It's that Final Boss Sour. It's real dried fruit. And think of like as sour as you put a warhead in when you first put the warhead in back in the day. Not these days, but back in the day.
Yeah.
It's that sour for the entire time you're chewing, but it's all real dried fruit.
I'll tell you what, them warheads from when they first come out, you couldn't help but make that sour pucker face. Man, those things were, in my opinion, awful.
Then you probably wouldn't like these. This is the kind that makes you just like lock up. It's so sour. It's sticky. They are sticky. There's so much sour on it. But that's what I like. I love sour.
I like how you put that. It'll just make you lock up.
Well, I had to be careful about animations there. Because everybody knows what kind of animation that kind of sour is going to make, but we can't show it.
Right. All right. Let's talk a little more painting. So you've been painting 3 years. What's your go-to airbrush? Do you have a favorite airbrush, or do you just use whatever you have?
So my go-to that I use all the time would have to be the Iwata Neo. And
Yep.
then I
I love
also
it.
have an Eclipse. And the Eclipse
Okay.
I'm still getting used to. And it's definitely a lot, you could do a lot finer detail work with it. It's a lot nicer of a brush. Oh, Barrett wants me
Okay.
to break y'all's heart, so we'll break y'all's heart. I started with Masters.
Yep.
I hate Masters. I don't know
Oh.
if I just got a bad brush. So my birthday, it was my birthday gift. We got a whole Masters kit, and it come with the Masters G22. And I spent more time working on it, cleaning it out, trying to get it back spraying than spraying.
Really?
Yes, I will never recommend Masters. And I'm just gonna say it like I kind of do with clear coat. If it works for you, it works for you. Okay, but try you an Iwata.
Yeah. Yeah.
Specifically, try a Neo.
Yep.
Like this was all done with the Neo.
Yeah. I like the Neo, but I do have Masters. Masters are like my base coat workhorse, and I rather enjoy painting with it. But the Neo is great. There's hands down, it's great. So I haven't tried a lot of airbrushes though. I have the Neo, I have the Masters, and that's what I've stuck with.
I can do a lot of
So
really fine detail work with the Neo. Well, I'll just grab these that
yes,
I painted for this order because, like, all of these pretty much in here was painted with the Neo. Like, that's these are
very
like
nice.
all the details and everything are the Neo.
Yeah, yeah.
These aren't as detailed as I've gotten, but with the Neo, but that's my go-to is, but it's the one I've used the longest.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you use it. It's like fishing. It's your confidence. If you're confident in an airbrush, that's what you're going to use. I'm confident in the Masters. I use it a lot. There's times I don't pick up my Neo, but to each his own. To each his own. That is for
Yeah, I'd
sure.
say I paint with the Neo about 90% of the time.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, speaking of Neos and Iwatas, you can get those over at Pretty Lures. You can go right over to Pretty Lures and you can get those airbrushes. Um, and speaking of Pretty Lures, we're going to give you another letter for the code. Your next letter is L. L is the next letter in the code. You must have the code at the end of the podcast to win the giveaway for Pretty Lures. Your next letter is L. I got a puzzle piece. I never understood why I get these. Are we not interacting?
I guess not.
I guess not. We're doing exactly what TikTok was intended for. We have a whole chat. We're talking to each other. We're interacting, and they give me a puzzle piece. I think they just want to see if I'm a multitasker.
Those puzzle pieces are crazy because, like, the other day when I was painting most of those, I was live, and it was me, Jigs, Holly, Sims, and I was on there for like 4.5 hours and never got a puzzle piece. But when I'm like that another time, we're doing the same thing. Oh, Lauren was in there too. Doing the same thing. I'll get a puzzle. I had a puzzle piece the other day in like 30 minutes, just like this.
So I see a lot of people guessing, what these letters are going to add up to. And it's not, in the end, it won't be a word. That may be something I try in the future. But you just have to provide the letters that I'm giving to you if your number is called. We'll still do the random number, and let's just say the random number is 5. It's not, but let's say it is. Whoever's name is beside that number, and let's say it's Calvary's name beside that number, I'm going to say, all right, Calvary, what are the letters that I provided throughout the night? And if he gives me all those letters, he wins the giveaway. If he does not, we pick a random number again. And we'll continue until somebody wins. I thought it would add a little twist to it, a little bit more entertainment.
Make sure people are paying attention.
So your favorite airbrush is the Neo. It's not the Eclipse, but the Neo.
Yes, like I said, it's the one that I use a ton. I've done a lot of. I'm gonna say with that Neo, I've probably done 1,000 baits. I've not had to get a new needle.
That's great,
I've had
man.
to keep it clean and everything, but
I do like the Neo. There's definitely nothing wrong with it. Oh, he fast forwarded. What did we miss? I think your internet locked up for a second.
yeah, it's wanting to act up a little bit. Of course, it would tonight.
It's because you're trying to do something.
Yeah, it would tonight, and that's my luck. I could tell you another funny little story that we just found out today. If you want to talk about my luck,
Good here, good on your
we
end.
had to get a copy
it's
of
me.
our. Yeah, we got a copy of our mayor's license today that we needed for something, and so we technically got married up here where we live, but we had our ceremony on Fripp Island, which is a beach out here in South Carolina, and
Okay.
our mayor's license says Fripp Island, Beaufort, Spartanburg. So Fripp Island is in Beaufort, but we live up here.
Oh wow.
So we got to figure that out.
So you're gonna have to get some things redone?
I think we can just file like an amendment.
Yeah. You should be able to. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's get to a big question. What clear coat do you use?
BSI 30-minute slow cure.
Okay. And is that what you've always used?
It is. Like I said, I started the journey with Barrett, and back when I first started is when he was still trying to recover from having his back, where he broke his back real good.
Yep.
And we spent so many nights on live just hanging out because he was up and I was up. That's why me, him, and Cody got to be such good friends, is we all would just stay on live all night because I was at work. I was just driving around or sitting over here or sitting over there, and I would just watch them instead of, listen to the radio or whatever. And so as Barrett, I got fortunate enough as he was doing all the testing on these different clear coats, the way people told him to do it, the way people said, try this trick, try that trick. He, 4 or 5 different clear coats. He did them all kinds of ways, and then he did like durability testing. Plus, already knew the finish, how it feels glass. It's so shiny, it's so clear. And, at that point, he'd had this one bait that had been sitting in his boat out in the sun for a year, and it still looked good. Some of the OGs will know when he was going through this testing of when he threw baits at his shop door like a baseball. I mean, just right there on live. He's like, well, let's just see how durable they are.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's what you have to do if you want to be confident in the product that you're putting out. I mean, why wouldn't you test it? Right?
I mean, it's a hot take, and what I'm going to say probably will ruffle some feathers.
Okay.
Automotive clear coat is okay. It does produce a decent finish, but I don't think the durability is there for the longevity like most people think it is. And that's also just from hearing some people who have owned the lures that they bought from people who use automotive clear coat a year ago. That's also the same thing that you can get at the store. Most of your stores are automotive.
Yes.
I'm not saying that automotive is bad. When I finish this up, I'll make a statement that'll calm everybody back down. I am against UV.
Okay.
I don't like that rubbery feeling. I don't like how a lot of them have that stickiness, and UV is in the long term designed to break down. I don't think it's 100% the product. I think a lot of people just don't do the process correctly. So, from automotive with needing the mask, the special brush, the evac fan, with the UV needing the lights and the boxes and all this kind of stuff, and the simplicity of BSI just being 2 parts, mix it together, let it sit, just hang it up, let it sit for minimum 8 hours, but I always let mine sit at least 24. The cost of it to get started, that's why I settled on BSI.
Okay. But you've never used UV or anything else?
No, I've never personally used it. Like I said, the automotive clear coat is like $250, $300 for.
It is.
It's expensive, and then you got to get you got to get a good evac fan. You need to do it in a well-ventilated spot. You need a mask, like a respirator. You're looking at $500-$600 to easy to get, probably more than that to get started with automotive clear coat.
Mm-hmm.
You need like 2 specific lights to the UV. And you need to build a box to put them in. And the box is technically supposed to have, now this is according to UV manufacturers, some way to deoxygenate the box. And that's why I said that. The UV manufacturers say oxygen breaks down the resin.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at the cost of the UV, then the cost of the lights, the cost of the material to build a box. If you want to do it 100% the correct way, you basically need like a very minimal nitrogen injection into the box.
So what's 100% the correct way to use BSI?
100% the correct way would be to put it on a smooth, flat, clean surface between, I think it's 70 or 75 and like 85 degrees.
Uh-huh.
And you mix it 1-to-1 between the resin and the hardener. And you mix it for a minimum of 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has their own way. Like, I know when Barrett explains it, because he says mix it until it'll get like a little bit of white, little cloudy stringiness, and then it'll go all out, then it'll go away, and then the bubbles will go away, and then that's when you use it. But according to BSI, they say, mix it for 1 minute. And it's a 1-to-1 based off of volume, not weight. Some guys do it by weight, and they have a great product. When you're mixing like a gram to a gram, that's very minimal, but I can't remember which one it is. One of them actually weighs just a tiny bit more than the other.
It has to, because I tried doing it by weight, and it did not work well for me.
Yeah, one weighs just a tiny bit more. So once you get past like a gram, then it might be getting too far off.
Mm-hmm. So
exactly what Tim says. Read the instructions.
Nobody reads the instructions. We get this stuff and we just use it. That's That's what we do.
Or we go on TikTok and find somebody who's using, like, hey, how you do that?
That's right. Tell me. So how many coats do you do? Do you do one coat and then a light sanding and then 2 coats? Just one coat. You've always done just
one coat and done.
Yeah.
I've never had so I always do mine under a bright light. And there's 2 ways to make sure, you can get some of the dry spots if you're not careful. So there's the 2 best ways I found to do it is either do it under a bright light and you just kind of slowly rotate it and look at it, or do it behind a camera. If you do it behind a camera, those dry spots just are like, bam.
Yeah, I've heard Bubba say that. He's like, I like to do it through the camera, which is the reason he says he goes live a lot when he epoxies.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any that are going to have issues at this point because I've developed my process and I really take my time, especially during that part, to make sure, like, I'll turn the bait 2 or 3 times before I hang it up.
So how many lures can you get done with one batch? Depending on, I mean, that depends. Let me correct that. That depends a little on how much you pour. But when you sit down to do BSI, are you just planning on doing 1, 2, or 3 baits at a time?
So for your glide baits, it's going to be 1.
Correct.
And like we were talking about with the tuna, like I did, this was one batch, these 2 are 1 batch, and these 3 were 1 batch. So this one took 3 batches. And then like with this one, it was 1 batch. But if you do like, let me grab one of these right here that I've got hanging. It's a striker. Like I did 2 of these.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got some micros like the new 35 millimeter lipless. I don't know if you've seen it. That Barrett has, or that Pretty Lures has. It is a tiny little thing. I'll do like 5 of those.
Yeah. So when we're talking typical bait size, let's just say 2.5, I can do roughly 3 of those before it's too stringy and I won't use it.
I could do 3, but I try to just stick to 2.
Stick to 2. Okay. 40, 50. This always gets the chat fired up. I love the fact that we still ask this question. Super controversial. Nobody's absolutely right and nobody's absolutely wrong, for the simple fact of I couldn't answer a UV question if you wanted me to. I've never used it. I've never had any experience with it. Couldn't tell you why this bait's sticky and why this bait isn't. What I can tell you in personal message, if you would like to know, is some of the baits that I've received that they have no stickiness and they're good to go. Whoever is doing that bait is doing it 100% correct. And they're making it work for them. So for me, it's BSI. For him, it's BSI. But for other people, it's UV. I know a lot of guys who use UV and they will not waver from their UV. And some of those guys have used BSI and other things. So.
And then you got some people, like I know right off the top of my head, Tim, who has like 4 different clear coats he'll use. Mm-hmm. And if he's going to send like me or you, because he knows we use BSI, he's going to send us a bait, he's sending it with BSI. But if he's going to send somebody else a bait, it might be UV. And that's where I was going to go with that statement.
Yep.
We all have different clear coats. If you have researched your product that you're using, you have tested the product you're using, your customers are happy, and you're willing to stand behind your work using that product, you are using the right clear coat.
Simple. Yeah, well put. That works for me.
If you're just putting it out there and you don't care what anybody has to say about the quality of your work, then you probably shouldn't be painting anyway.
cheaters says he just dips his baits in super glue.
I seen somebody ask how we measure it. Like I said, you can measure it off of volume. So, like, if you had some little syringe or something to pick up, like what is a cc or a milliliter or something of that sort,
Yep.
That would be the best way to measure it to try to make sure you get exact.
Yep.
Or you could do it like Barrett does, and I learned from Barrett, so I do it the same way, and you just turn the bottles up and you just go shh.
I eyeball it. I mean, I get close enough. My baits turn out really well. They turn out like glass, and
yeah,
it works for me.
This one was I clear coated this one last night before I went to bed.
Yep. And that's the thing about BSI is it does dry pretty quick. There's some other 2-part epoxies out there that you can use, but they take up to 24 to 48 hours. They're 30-minute. In about 2 hours, you could handle them. I would wait the 24 hours. I do every time.
So I fished them in about 6. We were going on a fishing trip. I knew the lake we were going. I knew this color pattern worked really well on that lake. I didn't have one, so I painted it up and I clear coated it and I went to bed and I got up the next morning, put hooks on it, tied it on, and went fishing.
Well, I mean, as long as it lasted, you didn't do it wrong, that's for sure.
It's still in my tackle box.
Yeah. So if you get bubbles or dry spots, more the bubbles. So you say you only do 1 coat. So what happens if you finish clear coating this whole bait and you go back and you look at it and it has a bubble in it, or maybe even one of those divots where the clear coat didn't quite self-level?
If it's one that didn't quite self-level, which I don't think I've ever had that happen.
Okay.
I really don't think I've ever had it where it didn't self-level. And that's another trick you can do. You'll see Barrett do it and you'll see me do it, is take the hair dryer after you finish it and just hit it real quick, and it helps it self-level. You don't want to hold it like you're not drying paint. You just want to warm it up.
Yep.
For the dry spots, and I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had a bubble.
Okay.
Not with BS. I don't think I've ever actually had like a bubble, show up. But early on, I did have some dry spots, and I would just kind of sand that area, just that little area, and clear coat over that little area and smooth it back out.
I love Ephraim's answer down there. Go back and redo it. You're so specific, buddy.
Yeah, just redo it.
Just redo it.
Because, you're not trying to... You don't want to... At a certain point, when the clear coat gets to a certain thickness, it affects the action of the bait. So, I don't want to affect the action of the bait. I want it to swim the way it's supposed to swim.
Correct.
And you could also affect the weight and make it go further down than it was going to go. So if you're sending somebody, 2.5 square bill, 1.5 square bill, and they want it in that 2, maybe 3 foot mark, depending on how far you cast it, you put that on there and it's getting down into the 5 foot mark and grass is at 4 foot, they're going to be mad.
Yeah. Well, no doubt about it. If you add too much BSI, you're adding weight to the bait, and that's a bad thing. So Swamp Rooster says BSI will bubble. It will. Okay. It will. And I have had some instances where maybe I didn't get enough in that area, and even after hitting it with the dryer, I had kind of a divot spot. And I'm saying a divot. We are talking microscopic. They are small. But I tend to put my first coat on, let it hang and dry, and I most of the time anymore, I give it a light sand and then another thin coat. And when I say thin, I do mean thin. When you're putting that second coat on, you don't have to put it on very thick. It goes on really well.
I try to put a super thick coat on anyway. Like I can still feel the scales in this.
Right.
It's not smooth.
Correct.
Like I try to keep it as thin as I can keep it.
Yep.
I mean, and it don't need to be a super thick coat for the durability. And apparently I was wrong. They say BSI makes it float. So, it go the opposite direction. If they're wanting it at 3 foot and it's fishing at 1 foot, they're going to be, they're still not getting in that zone they want to get. What I'm getting.
Right.
And we're not saying BSI doesn't get bubbles. We're not saying BSI is the perfect clear coat.
Nope.
We personally just feels it's the best.
That subject could take up the rest of the podcast, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
I love that question, and sometimes we just have to move on. So
some people get really upset when you say you don't like their clear coat.
I think that's why
I've been on some lives that have just about made people quit talking to each other over clear coats.
It does happen. That's not the reason I keep asking the question. I keep asking that question, especially on the podcast, because it brings out a lot of information. Just because you believe one way doesn't mean, Ephraim believes one way, or Skeeters, or Barrett, or you get all these different opinions about the same thing. Right. And then you also get all the opinions about the UV. So if you're a UV guy and you're reading that chat, thank you. And you're reading that chat, you're getting some information that maybe you like or dislike, or maybe didn't know. That is the whole point in that conversation. So great topic. Thanks for going over things with us, and appreciate all the information coming up in the chat. So the age-old question, what do you do for painter's block? Do you ever get painter's block? And is there something specific that helps you get through that?
Yeah, I do get painter's block. I have. And at one point, I just left it alone for like 3 months even. Yeah. And just, like, you know what, I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that, And I don't go as in, I would say, detail and wild as crazy as most people. Uh-huh. Like, I try to keep it simple, because a fish is not going to see the pattern. And that's that fine line detail we got to walk. Details are for fishermen. Colors are for fish. Uh-huh. So, I try to focus more on color combos that match a fish, and put just enough detail in there to catch the fisherman's eye. Mm-hmm. So it's not. It's harder for me to get, I guess you'd say, the painter's block than some people who go like super, super detailed. And you've got 7-8 layers of details. Like, I try to go nicer than the store-bought, but not as crazy as we're just going to call them out Barrett stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, he puts layer after layer after layer after layer in it. He does it quickly too. Like, I don't know how he does it. It's just like, oh wow, okay. Like with this one in particular. This wasn't a lot. That's your crackle mesh, splattered it, but it'll work. It's gonna catch fish, and there's just enough detail. Like, that's just enough detail that the fisherman's gonna look at it and be like, I like that. Okay. And the other main thing I would do is just go to Bass Pro Shop, go to Academy, and just look at their stuff and be like, I do like that color combo, but I can make it better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely have pictures on my phone from walking around the bait stores, and I paint those baits. So
there's another good way to do it at this point, was what he just said. If you've got painter's block, if you're a painter and you've got painter's block, and you can't figure out how to get past it or what to paint next, join a Friday Night Live, because you won't really have to think about what to paint when you've got to use sand, pink, and rust.
You had to say rust, didn't you? You had to.
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
Or
I went
orange.
out and bought the rest of that brand of paint that the lobby is selling now, and it's just called Airbrush. And they came out with, I want to say neons. Is it neon? Are they saying these are neon? Yeah. So they came out with some neon colors as well as iridescence. So now they have 4 different styles of paint, all the same brand, and it does work really
I'll have to
well.
go check them out.
If you haven't checked it out, I would suggest it. I suggested him to Jigs on Wheels, and he went to the store and he messaged me while he's at the store, and he goes, "I bought a couple," and I was like, "What do you mean you bought a couple?" And he's like, I just want to try it first. I said, "Buddy, I'm telling you now, buy the whole set. If you don't like it, I'll pay for it." And he goes, "I already left the store. And he goes home, he paints. Now he's got all the sets because he did like them.
I have 2 brands of paint, and people honestly are always shocked at how little paint that I have.
Okay.
But I have Createx and New Worlds. And I've only got 3 New Worlds.
And you
But
can
I
get
got
both
the
those if
Voodoo
you're
New Worlds.
Yep.
Well, that would be, it's a common theme. People probably wondering, but I'm one of the pro staff over there, so I try to keep everything I use within their stuff. But I don't have to worry about their stuff because the backstory, like we were talking about behind it, is Barrett was struggling to get quality stuff and find quality stuff, and Rosalie's like, "Well, let's just do it. Let's find better stuff for you and just bring it in." And then she got to watching all the rest of us use the same stuff, and she's like, "Well, let's just do it for everybody."
Yep.
So like it was completely started just to help us to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't thank them enough for what they do for us. Pretty Lure definitely, they sponsor the podcast. They have pro staff. They pro staff people. Those people get discounts. It also gives you discount codes. If you know some of their pro staff, you can message them and they can get you a discount code. And speaking of codes, let's do another code letter. So the last one of the night is going to be S. S. Make sure you have all 3 letters when we get ready for the giveaway, at least the Pretty Lures one. You're going to need all 3 letters that we mentioned throughout the podcast, and we'll get you your $25 gift code. The last letter is S. So you prefer those brands, not only because you're pro staff, but they work well. I have Createx here, and I have New World here. I use them, and just like anything else, I have my confidence paints as well. If I'm doing a specific lure for somebody, I do tend to stick to those confidence brands, and New World and Createx are 2 of them.
Yeah, and then a lot of people use the Golden High Flow. I just haven't ventured out to that.
I have that.
It's like I know Createx works. They've got a lot of good colors.
Mm-hmm.
New World, and it's one of the super, I guess you would say, popular, tried and true brands. It's been around a long time. It's battle tested. New Worlds is it is newer, but Createx makes New Worlds.
Yeah.
It was a craft, more for the crafts, like the model painting and stuff.
Yeah.
And they sent some to test the Pretty Lures, and I was on the live where it was tested, so I can vouch for it. Like with say like, Createx, let me grab these 2, 3 right here because it'll make a big difference to explain it. If you have just a plain black base coat and you go over it with pearl blue, it's not going to stay blue. It turns more purple. So if you want to do a base black, a base of black, and then you want to put details in it, you've got to paint it white, get the white cured, and then paint it blue to get the proper color. With the New Worlds, the whole thing behind it is it's such high pigment that you can go straight from the black to the blue, and then puts a brown or a yellow over the blue, and you don't have to do those mid coats of white to keep it from changing colors. And then we've got the magic one that we've discovered, new mirrored steel. That stuff is crazy.
I do like the mirrored steel. I use it in certain applications. Yeah, I like it. I have a bottle of it, and I have a spare bottle of it. And I know it was popular enough, they ran out for a little while. Everybody wanted to get their hands on that mirrored steel. And Pretty Lures is always coming out with new stuff. So make sure you guys are paying attention to the website. He's adding new stuff all the time. I know right now I'm waiting for 2 or 3 things to get up on the website before I make my order. I'll be making an order real soon. I know they got the wake baits that are coming out, and they are the circuit board bill wake bait. They're also coming out with some custom paints, I guess you could say. So make sure you're checking them out.
And I can't really say too much, but you definitely want to check them out on a weekly basis. Well, I can say this. You definitely want to check them out on a weekly basis because they pretty much get new stuff in every week.
Yep.
Whether it be a blank, a paint, well, my mind went blank, but dude, this is what we're talking about right here. Is New World's mirrored steel.
Yep.
He just said they were still out of stock of it, but if
I seen that.
That's one of the things. Keep looking, because as soon as it comes in, you want to get it, because it's like it's not a chroming version, like it doesn't chrome like some of the chroming things, but it can provide you with a bright silver, like a really bright silver, and you can coat it lightly to still allow underneath details to show.
Yep.
Yeah, highlight green too is another one that they have a hard time getting in stock, but that might be because of just one person who buys it by the pack.
Oh my. So if you could pick one person that you've never painted with, or maybe one of your favorite painters, why is my live restricted? I just got a live restriction.
Because I showed paint?
Oh well. Everybody that needs to be in here is in here. Where was I at? Now I lost. Oh, here we go. If you could paint with anybody, who might that be? Maybe somebody you've always wanted to paint with and never met.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it in the live, but since he said it, screenshot that real quick. The restriction.
It's already gone. I got to move on.
Oh well, do it if you get any more. He's not really on TikTok. He's a lot more popular on Facebook, and
Okay.
he's local to me. Because a lot of the people that I would want to I like painting with, we paint with. It would be Dark Corner Custom Crankbaits.
Okay.
He does fish replicas, but he also does hyper realistic baits because he does the taxidermy on them. I feel there's a lot there that can be learned.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, everybody that's here is usually here, and I'm guilty of it as well, but there's a lot of people on the book as well. Over on the book, I have followed some amazing painters over there, and I do not see them over here.
No, and I don't see him over here either. He has a TikTok, but he's not he's just not active over here.
He's a BSI guy, not UV.
Actually, yeah,
Facebook or
yeah.
TikTok.
But yeah, he's local with me, so like I could literally go meet up and paint with him. But I mean, I get to paint with, well, like Tim said, and Burnout Bobby says, uh, I do like painting with them. I enjoy painting with them. I enjoy hanging out with them. Friday nights are a blast,
Yeah.
with everybody. But if there was one person I had to pick that I got to go paint with, it would be him right now because of how good he is, and there's that level that I could learn.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. I love it when people mention somebody that most don't follow, haven't heard of, or they're from another platform. I'm perfectly okay with that. And as a matter of fact, I usually go check these people out. So I appreciate that. Yeah. What?
He's one to definitely check out if you haven't seen his work. Like the amount, that's another one. The amount of detail. Like if he's gonna paint a crappie, it's gonna look like a crappie.
Hmm. So, what color scheme would you like to see more of?
Uh, I personally like the chartreuses and the greens. They work very well. My signature pattern is chartreuse. I call it Carolina shad. It's a chartreuse base with some black scales and then green over the top, and it works.
Mhm.
It just flat out works. It's caught bass, and I think I've got it in 18 states at this point, and it's caught well over like 1,000 bass in the past 3 years between everybody who has it.
Very cool. Very nice.
It just works. I think chartreuse and greens should be in a crankbait should be one of the most popular colors.
So, I have a question for you. We talked about this a little bit earlier. So, I'd like to ask about your PB bass. What do we got? What do we got going
So
on
it
there? You
is.
said it's a great story.
It's 8 pounds 6 ounces, caught out of a neighborhood pond that's local to me.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a bitsy minnow?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So bitsy minnows are really good search baits if you're fishing something like a pond new because everything bites it. You can catch little bass. You can catch some bigger bass. You can obviously catch an 8.6, but there's a minute detail I'll get to that's missing. But it was springtime. I'm just walking around my buddy's neighborhood pond with him, and we're just fishing. And I hook a little something I thought was a smaller fish, just like a bluegill or something. And I see this just flash, and I'm like, "What was that?" And next thing I know, it comes around and it comes up and it comes after this little bass that I had hooked, which was seriously like 6 inches.
Okay.
When it grabbed that bitsy minnow, it swam over her bed. And she was not having it. So it come up after it on the second swipe and hit it so hard that it knocked the little bass off, and then the rear hook was underneath her little tongue crusher plate. She knocked it off so hard and hooked herself. And that's how, and then it was seriously, 8.6
Wow.
in a little like 1 acre pond.
So you actually caught like a 2-3 ounce bass.
Yeah, like it was this size, this length. Seriously. And it was, I mean, that fish just come up and it was so mad. It come fully out the water and I watched the little fish just go, pew. And it was right on the bank, so I didn't even really have to fight it too much. All I did was say, shh, right there, and it's flopping on the bank.
Wow.
And then following it after we caught it, we weighed it, we got the pictures. My buddy had his scale in his, the little suitcases that you get for the soft plastics that you just kind of stick it down in. He forgot to zip it up, so he's just walking back across the pond to his rod after he dropped his rod and come running, and all his little worms start falling out. And they fell down his leg, and he felt them, and he looked down, and all he sees is a bunch of bright-colored little baby snake-looking things. So he proceeds to throw this in the air, like 30 foot in the air. Soft plastics are flying everywhere. It's the most genuine, like, scared sound I've ever heard in my life. And there's just baits flying like 30 foot in the air across.
Scared himself.
He was genuinely terrified. And then he had to try to, as he's running, he had to try to avoid a goose that was sitting on eggs, and he almost got flogged. I'm over here at the other corner of the pond. I haven't moved yet. I'm still in like I can't believe I just caught this, and I'm watching this happen, and I'm dying laughing, and he's just gone. It sounded exactly like Hank Hill. It did. He was just like, oh.
Like Hank Hill.
Those baits are probably still at the bottom of we were standing on the dam of the pond, and the backside of us like 30 foot straight down. And that tackle bag and baits and everything may still be at the bottom of the dam.
Yeah.
He was so mad. He's like, I'm not even going down there. I don't care. I don't want them. I don't want nothing to do with that anymore.
Last question. We're going to ask you one final question, and then we'll do some giveaways, and then we're going to open it up to the chat, see if they have some questions for you. So is there a piece of advice you would give to a new painter, or maybe just some life advice that was given to you that stuck with you forever?
I can give one of each.
All right.
A long time ago, my grandfather told me this is the life advice, and I do try to live by every day because it's so true. And a lot of people deal with regret in their daily life. And I mean, just deep regret. My grandfather told me when I was just a teenager, I grew up on a farm. And in the summer times, I spent most of my summers out there just piddling in the field, piddling with tractors, that kind of stuff with him. And he said, make sure that when you lay your head down tonight, you'll be okay if you wake up and somebody's not there tomorrow. And that stuck with me hard.
Yeah.
But now for the new painters, take your time, listen, and make sure your product is worth selling before you just start selling. There's been a couple people who come in, guns a-blazing, had a decent product, but thought they were, there's no nice way to say it, thought they were better than they were. And they made a lot of people mad. And they're gone within 6 months. If you're going to stick around, you've got to take your time, develop the product, do like we said with the clear coat, test it, talk to people who use what you're thinking about using, and never use KBS. But
you had to throw that in there, didn't you?
That's the one that I will say.
All right.
I would say is just don't use that one. But
okay.
Yeah, take your time, develop your product, and always keep painting. People get discouraged because it doesn't say they're not selling. Oh, I can't sell nothing. It's been 2 months since I'm able to sell a lure. Well, so you stop kind of painting, and then all of a sudden you've got 30 people wanting a lure and you've only got 15 lures. They're going to sell at some point. And then, but I mean, you also do want to keep a little bit of reserve in case somebody wants something custom. Don't just buy 20 blanks, paint 20 blanks. Buy 20 blanks, paint. Keep you a little stock of what you think are your blanks that you like. That you want to be your company's blanks, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Good advice, man. Good advice. I do that. I don't just paint bunches and bunches of blanks. I probably should here lately. I haven't painted anything in a little while besides just a couple lures for myself. But I like to keep my blanks in case somebody wants something. I have them here to pay for. So what if you have 300 painted and ready? Well, Lauren, that is definitely you.
Then you have a lot more time than I do.
He does. He does. What do you say? You want to get to some giveaways?
Sure.
Want to do a giveaway? All right. We always start with Pretty Lures giveaway. We'll do theirs first. We already have a randomly selected number. And as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the podcast and throughout the podcast, you must be able to provide the 3 letters that I've given to you throughout the podcast. If you've been paying attention and you've been here, you know what those 3 letters are. We are going to use this random number to get it started. And I'm going to try and show you this number. And it always does this to me. It is 16. So I'm going to go right here to the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to scroll down to number 16, which happens to be TUI005. TUI005. I need those specific 3 letters. It is a code that I have given out throughout the podcast. If you can give me those 3 letters, you are the winner of the $25 gift code. We'll give you just a few seconds to type that in. He's got it. PLS. I appreciate it, Tui. We will get you written down right here. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Thanks for hanging out the entire time, buddy, and providing that code.
And it's rigged.
It's rigged. Let's hear it again. It's rigged. Oh. So Calvary also wants to do a giveaway. Me and him came up with a random number. Now, we are not going to use the code for this one, so everybody's available for this giveaway. But if you'd like to show them what you got.
It is this 7-inch big belly shad that I've been holding up.
Very nicely done.
The winner can message me. Well, of course, they got to message me. If they want hooks, I'll put hooks on it. If not, I'll send it without it. It's up to them. Okay. Appreciate that, Tim.
All right. We've randomly picked a number, and I'm going to show you that number. Number 8. I'm going to go up here to the top. We're going to go down to number 8, and that is none other than Woods. Woods.
I know Woods doesn't have one of mine. So yeah, just there you go, Woods. Just PM me when I know we follow each other, so just PM me when we get off of here.
Yep.
And if you want hooks, I'll get you some hooks on there, and if you want to hang it up, that's up to you. Did you see Barrett's comment?
I did not.
He said, "What does PLS stand for? Pretty Lure Striker."
It sure does. You never know. We might start getting into a whole word combo. What did you guys think of that? Did you like the special code letters coming out? I mean, I could actually make them spell something, but at the same time, you just have to have that code. And I thought it was a great idea. My wife and I had talked about it previously, and David and I started talking about it again, and it was just something a little bit more interactive for you guys. So I think we may do it a few times, see what you guys think about it. So,
Yeah, it's just I mean, I like
other
it.
than that,
So I like the idea of it, and it the people who are going to win that gift code, that gift card is, it's a real value. And they
yeah,
should be here from the beginning.
yeah. I mean, we have a lot of people that are in here from the beginning to the end. And of course, we have the unfortunate part is that we have people that show up late. North Waters, I seen him comment down there that he showed up late. Ephraim said he missed the first letter. And, that's the downfall of it. I understand. But at the same time, it's to be a little more fun and a little more interactive, and also at the same time to make sure that you're hanging out for the whole thing and not just showing up at the very end. So, I think we may try that for a little while. Yes, it does help. Helps podcast grow. That is for sure. Appreciate it.
It was the first week. You didn't have an announcement, hey, this is how we're going to do it. You just tested it out. So now the people who are bait makers and are hanging out in here and who have a real benefit behind that code, no, hey, make sure I'm in here.
Yep, you got it. Well, this is one of my favorite parts of the podcast. We are going to open up the chat and we're going to let them ask you questions. I know you said quite a bit of, I don't know of a better way to put it, controversial things during the clear coding. So maybe some people got some questions for you. Maybe you have some information you weren't aware of. However, don't forget, guys, we do this every Tuesday. Every single Tuesday at 7 Eastern is when the podcast starts. We have a new guest every week, and next week is no different. Next week, we will have Stroud's Custom Glides on here. So Stroud's will be our guest next week. Make sure you guys tune in. I think we may try the code again, so make sure you're here. Other than that, thanks, North Waters. Other than that, the chat is open. Make sure you ask some questions. While some of those questions start getting around, I do have one more for you. Here we go. Killjoy already has one. Do you ever test and tune your lures before you sell them?
I will try the blanks out before I paint them and make sure that I think the blank's good. But we got to do the shameless plug with Pretty Lures. One of the things the pro staff does is to make sure that all these blanks are good to go before they get out there to you guys.
Yep.
That's one of our things that we do is we test these lures. We had a lot of us had the strikers before they went up on the website to make sure that they swam right, to make sure that it wasn't just one was good and two or three were bad. Same for the double take. We had the double take early to make sure that those swam right and those were worth having. So yeah, I personally do. Now that I've got the ones that I've no, I don't test each bait before I paint it. Right. I know those are going to come in as quality baits, and I know they've got the action that I want, and they go to the depth that I want.
Well, good answer. From Barrett, he says, also, if you want to do Friday Night Live, we have a new thing going on over there too. So if you'd like to do the Friday Night Live, send a message to Pretty Lures. You can get in on the Friday Night Live painting. I'm sorry, no, it says, what is your favorite lure to paint? And that comes from Polly.
I'm gonna have to say it's probably the double take.
It's a good one.
The double take always turns out looking great, and it's got great detail, and I mean I've never seen like one painted that didn't look good. Outside of that, well, that's really like my favorite one to fish, not my favorite one to paint. I really like the 1.5 deep diver, medium diver, depending on who you are. And now that I've painted several strikers, like I like these strikers now.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure how I was gonna like painting them because my initial was just 2 to make sure everything was good with them. But now that I painted 12, I painted 12 yesterday. Like I enjoy painting those. Those turned out a lot better to paint than I thought they were.
I like the strikers. One lure I want to check out is the Checkmate. I haven't gotten one of those yet.
I haven't gotten one of those yet either, but those are. I've seen them, and I've had video calls with Barrett and stuff, and those are very nice.
Sims wants to know, what's your favorite color to use?
He thinks I'm going to say Wicked Charcoal Metallic, but that's not true. I use Pearl Pineapple. Way more.
Pineapple?
Pearl Pineapple. I use it way more. I like my chartreuses. No, I do use Wicked Charcoal Metallic a lot, but I think I use a chartreusey, yellow, and I really like the Pearl Pineapple.
Pearl Pineapple. Do you sing the SpongeBob theme song when you're spraying it? There's been a pineapple under the sea.
That's just the name of the shade. It's this one right here.
I have it right here.
Yeah, it's just Pearl Pineapple.
I like that color. That's a good color.
Yeah, it's a really good color.
I couldn't help it.
No, that's great.
My chat jumped again. What's your favorite color to use?
Strouds is in here now. Next week's guest's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite lure to use. I'm pretty much always haven't got to fish with the strikers yet. They may replace it because it gets to that depth, same kind of depth. But I do use the 1.5 DD a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole tackle tray, one of the like 5700 or 3700s, whatever it is. I've got one of those is nothing but 1.5 DDs. Ouch.
Kidney stone. Dang.
Ouch. Since he's come out with it, I was partial. I was using. This is Tim's question.
Thank you.
What hook do I prefer? I was using the VMC Barbarian, and they're small. They're kind of tiny. And since then, we were talking about it, and when Barrett come out with the Hydra Claws, or Pretty Lures come out with the Hydra Claws, they're just the same shape as the Barbarian, but they're a lot stronger. So I've been sticking with those. Yeah, I'm not lost a fish since I started using them. I will say that. No, I'm not doing the dance.
Sims wants to know, you gonna do the dance in front of the semi again?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I don't even have the semi with me, but no.
Bubba just got internet back. That sucks. Well, welcome in, buddy.
Those that seen it. There is a screen recording of it, but it's a one and done.
The one and done. I have a question for you. Do you fish mainly boat or bank?
It was boat, but I recently sold the boat, so now it's bank.
Okay.
I do. I prefer.
Tim wants to
fishing
know
from a
what
boat,
needle
though.
size.
I
Okay.
think both the Neo
I like
and
doing. I like both.
I think both the Neo and the Eclipse are 0.35. The Eclipse can get a little better. Listen. Bait makers after dark's all I gotta say.
You guys are hopefully reading some of these comments because Barrett says he was twerking and working.
And he's not lying. He's not lying. No, so with Tim's question, I had bought his not the Infinity model he had now, but I bought his H&S Infinity model before that, and it had the 0.15, and I could not get that thing to spray. It's Tim. Tim is one of the most meticulous people at taking care of brushes. Like, his stuff always looks brand new. The brush was in perfect shape. It was not the brush or anything Tim done, but it was just too fancy of a brush for me, I guess. But I couldn't keep a consistent spray. I could get it spraying to that pencil point fineness that it says it can, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't. That's why I switched over back to the Iwata and got the Eclipse.
Okay. People like that comment. Twerking and working.
It was
Oh boy.
It was about 2:00 in the morning. I was tired. Jigs on Wheels was involved. That should be bad influences.
Bad influences. Stroud's Custom wants to know smooth blanks or textured. Which do you prefer?
Textured. I do prefer the texture. I like. I do love the wee shads, and you can make the wee shads look very real because of their, because of the texture in them, especially the foiled. Now that's one thing I do prefer foiled over regular.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's scared of foiled, and I don't know why. I mean, if you buy foiled and you put a little too heavy, it does lose the foil, but when you learn that layering process, the foil is just an added detail.
Yep. Tim says, do you still have the H&S? Barrett answered him and said, John has it.
Old Coon Creek John has it.
Old Coon Creek John.
Yeah. Coon Creek baits, ain't it?
Yeah. I was just painted a foil just like a regular bait.
Yeah, you paint it just like a regular bait, and sometimes if you layer it right in the sunshine, the foil will still show through.
Yep.
No, with
that's a major
talking about we were talking about it down in Alabama, and he kind of wanted to try it out, and I'm like, you got the Eclipse, and I'm like, I kind of think I should stay with Iwata because I'm doing great with Iwata, and it worked out. I'm not 100% certain. I don't know that he's even used that H&S yet. The last time I talked to him, he had.
I watch him quite a bit, when he gets in lives and stuff, and he doesn't paint exactly on live too much. But I joined into his live the other day, and he was actually painting on the live purposefully because he said he usually doesn't do that. So, but I don't think he was using H&S. I'm not 100% on that. He has
Dark
not.
side there, yeah. I think it's just kind of like me. Is like he's got his brush he likes, and he just doesn't think about it.
Yeah, we all do that.
But there is a definite learning curve when you go to the bougie brushes like the H&S Infinities.
So you think they're a little harder to use?
They're definitely not as user friendly. Use it, get used to it. Like I said, talk to people who do it. Like Barrett has one, Tim has one. That's about all Tim paints with, I believe. And there's a couple good YouTube channels out there that explain this stuff. Airbrush Garage is one that I watched that helped me a lot with the spray consistency and everything. Once you get to using it and that's your confidence brush, you'll probably have some of the better looking details that you can put into the baits because of the lack of overspray. Like with those H&S Infinities, you can seriously go all the way down to where it looks like you went across it with a pen. That fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stroud says I spray and pray. Well, you do a good job at it.
See, Tim likes the H&S better.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm not saying it's not a good brush or a quality brush. It's a very high quality brush. But I think it was just, I'm not bougie and it is bougie, so we didn't bougie together.
It is bougie and you're not, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very nice brush, and when I had it spraying right, it was great.
Do you think that has anything to do with your paint thinning?
It has everything to do with the paint thinning.
Yeah. Do you thin paints most of the time or no?
With the Neo, I don't have to thin them too much. My problem with the H&S was one, it was a .15 needle. And you got to get it to a certain thinness to paint. Mm-hmm. And my problem was once I got it thin enough, I'm going little, and once I got it thin enough, it'd run. I'd have problems keeping it not running. I'd go too much, and then I'd have to dump out and start all over. And then I'm like, you know what, like maybe this is just too nice of a brush for me.
Well, and I got to the point with help from my friends, Tim and Rasher and Mad, and quite a few people who spray candies. I like my paint super thin now, and they will run easy if you're not careful, but it also teaches you a little more patience and slow down. And it is amazing some of the things you can do with some super thin paint. Regular paints with candy paint over top of it can really bring out some details that you didn't even know you put in there. So
yes, I mean I've got to the point now I don't even mix my candies with 40/50. But I'm not necessarily using candies to put in details.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only got 3 colors of candy. I've got, and I didn't think it through. I went to the store. I bought 3 colors.
Okay.
I bought red and yellow and orange.
All right.
I bought colors to make orange and then bought orange.
I have quite a few candies in my candy paints. Selection keeps growing, and there are some really unique colors out there of candy. And I recently done a bass glide that ended up Stroud's has it now, where it was kind of I did a black base coat. I wiped it off to leave the scale pattern. Then I painted it in a bass pattern and color scheme. And I wasn't real happy with it. And I was, Tim happened to pop into live and he goes, man, you need to go over that with candy. Just same colors, just do it in candy now. And as soon as I did, all those details came out of that bait, all up in the gill plates and the scaling. And the bait turned out really, really nice. And thanks,
Yeah,
Strouds.
I don't have that many candy, and
Yeah.
and like I said, I don't go to that level of detail to really to where I think the candy would make a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Every
I'm trying to.
painter's different.
Yeah, candy to me is more of like to go over a detail in certain baits, not just to add the detail. Which I also just don't think I'm as talented as some of these other guys who can paint a bait with 4 different colors of candy to and stuff. I just can't do that.
I'll tell you, they amaze me. Some of the stuff they do, and then they'll help me on a bait sometimes, and I amaze myself. I'm like, well, if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have turned out that way. But
Exactly.
I'm still the one behind the brush.
Yeah, using candy properly does take a lot of time, but
It takes a lot.
I can't say how I use candy.
It really teaches you to be patient with the paint and let it work and do its thing. If you try and rush candy, you're going to get a lot of drip lines, and you are not going to be happy.
Yeah,
it will
you definitely got to
teach you.
do light coats, super light spray, or it's not going to turn out right, and it's just not going to look good. And
Yep.
to do it properly, you're supposed to let it air dry.
You are. You can now. You don't want to add heat to dry it, right? So what I do is I have an airbrush set in here that has nothing in it, and I will just use the air off that brush to help dry it up a little bit. But I do leave it set. You really can't rush it. Yeah, candy
I
hates
mean,
heat guns.
you can, and you do definitely got to be careful. It's
Yeah.
not the right way. So if you want to do it the right way, it's like you said. If you want to do it the right way, the way it's intended to be done, it's pretty much exactly what you said.
Yeah.
There's a few of us rebels that just put the heat to it and be very careful with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I use it. The airbrush. You can also get some hair dryers that have the cold burst. I don't know. I only started using hair dryers after I started painting. I'm no specialist in a hair dryer. But you can
Hey,
get them
listen,
where they have
I
that
utilized
boost.
making the wife happy to get my hair dryer, and I've got one of those. It's got 2 switches. It's got one to control heat and one to control airflow. But she had a fairly nice one. But I was like, honey, I think you should just go get like whatever hair dryer you want, whatever one you haven't, you've had your eye on, and I'll just take this one. So it's like I got brownie points and got a good hair dryer.
Yeah, you did. I tried doing that, and my wife was like, "No, I like the one I got."
Well,
'Cause she
real
had the
quick,
cold
does
boost on
anybody
hers.
else make sure nobody else has questions because it is getting pretty close to my bedtime.
I always use UPLS before clear. Cause some candies will react to clear. Yep.
They will. The only time I really use the 40-50 anymore, I used to mix it to like you're supposed to. But I use candies more as a shading color, and I don't even actually mix the candies with UVLS anymore. I found that I can do better shading wise without it. But there's like when I use tape to create some of my patterns. And if you're not careful, the tape will pull the paint off. So if I'm going to be doing a bait where I use tape to create a pattern, like my crawl patterns most of the time now are done with tape. And I got a scale pattern that I done with tape that I learned from Rainbolt. I put the UVLS over the base coat or whatever coats underneath the detail that I'm trying to use the paint, the tape to do to keep it from pulling that paint up.
Well, this has definitely been a great show. I'm so glad we got you to come on here. The giveaways have been done. Those people will be contacted. If you guys need any of the names as far as Calvary or Pretty Lures, I have them written down here. Other than that,
Woods messaged me.
I do appreciate you. What's that?
Woods done. He already messaged me. We're good on my end.
Okay. Other than that, that is the end of the podcast. Next week, we have Stroud's Customs coming on. You guys don't want to miss that. He's been doing some great work. We're going to get him on here and see if we can figure out some of his secrets, huh? Other than that, thank you so much for coming on tonight. That is the end of the podcast. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night.